Let's go mudlarking on the borders of the Welsh capital and in the land that is famed by the princes of historic independent Wales. Well, today Caroline and I are out mudlarking in the River Rhymney. Now, we've been in the River Rhymney before because it flows through our hometown, but that's a long way up north in the valleys from here. We are on the outer borders now of the capital city of Cardiff. We're at a place called Rhymney because, as I mentioned, this has a connection with our independent history. 700-800 years ago, when Wales was an independent nation and ruled by the princes of Wales. Back then, the prince that I'm thinking of, Llywelyn ap Gruffydd, and he was the last prince of independent Wales. His brother Dafydd took over from him when he was killed, and other princes came following on for a couple of centuries, going right through to Owain Glyndwr, who led the rebellion in Wales. But the last leader who ruled Wales independently was Llywelyn ap Gruffydd. He was recognised by Henry III as the rightful leader of Wales. He was also recognised by the papal representatives of his day. But the son of Henry III, Edward I, came into Wales with the intention of conquering and controlling this land. Built castles all around, and in the process, I believe it was in 1282, then our prince was killed. And it is said in the legends of those days that the monks that had this land at the time, given to them by the Lord of Glamorgan, whose seat was at Cardiff Castle after the Norman conquest, they buried the body of the prince in a stone coffin in the land near the river. In fact, in the middle of the 1400s, there was a Elizabethan manor house built there, and now there stands a Victorian building that was the home of the landed gentry and now is a hotel. Time moves on, things change, but there's real history here, there's legends here, and hopefully there's some things to find here. So let's get looking.
We found a beach. It's not a very big beach, but we'll have a look anyway.
It's not river glass, that's ice.
Yeah, look at that. Frozen ice. Well, frozen water really, isn't it? Is that ice or glass? Oh, it's glass.
I thought
a square bottle.
Yeah, I thought it was ice at first, but it's not too cold.
Ooh.
Our problem is going to be the height of the water today.
It is very deep, isn't it?
Yeah, on Google Earth this was quite a beach, but as you can see here, there's some beautiful lying pebbles under the water, but only a small area outside. But I can see a bit more pot in there.
Ooh, we'll have a look now. Right, we've got to go in to get that bit of pot. So come on, be brave, pop your wellies on and face the cold. Oh, you can feel that cotton coming straight through the wellies. Was it worth it for this bit of pot? Let's have a look. Oh, it's the bottom of a marmalade jar. Oh, what's Phil got? Oh, that's the bottom from a 1960s butter dish. Yes, the lid's missing. I wonder if we'll find the lid. I doubt it.
There's something here.
Ooh, what you got? Let's have a look.
Of course.
There's our ridge pottery again. More marmalade jar. So we've only got to find a bowl and a trolley, and we've lived up to our usual standards. Well, we'll go for a little wander. Don't forget, shout if you see something. Ooh. Something. Plain or patterned? Plain. Oh, I can see some blue and white. There. Right. See if we can pick it up. Oh, that's nice. It's only a little piece, and I don't think it's as old as some of the pieces we find. Who knows, maybe there's a 50s, 60s dump around here because we found a 60s butter dish and this pattern, which I don't think is extremely old. So I
Black
think,
and white tiled flooring
yes.
with a bit of compo on the back.
I wonder how old that is. You can see the cement, so I don't think it's extremely old, like over 100 years old.
Don't know, they use mortar on some places.
It looks very, I don't know, maybe it is.
Could be
It looks like somebody's, could be Masonic, yes, it could be the mosaic from somebody's kitchen or passage flooring. Could be from a garden path, because I've seen these sort of patterns on black and white tiles on garden paths. Oh, another piece of social history hidden in the river. Oh, that's big.
That's sort of 19... Oh, there's a wiggly thing on there, bit of a leech, is there?
Little leech there, I think he's a leech. There you go.
60s pattern.
Yeah, it does look 1960s.
Very thin.
I think it's probably plastic. Yes, it's a modern plastic picnic dish, yes. There we go, little leech having his 5 minutes of fame.
The thing is, the reason I chose this area, one, the history, because I love it, as you know, but also I found a map that shows old landfill sites used by the local authority, and there's one just above us here, and I think stuff is leaking out. These bits of broken marmalade pots, bits of metal, plastic bowls. Obviously there is stuff washing down. Got to find out if we get something really interesting washed out.
There's another bit of marmalade jar.
And me.
Snap!
They're all into their marmalade in those days. Whoops! But as someone said the other day, it was probably the only way they got to eat oranges and citrus fruits.
Yes.
It was the only way to store it and transport it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Just ventured out into the deep. 1/4 inch from the top of me wellies. It was that side up.
Right. Oh, I like that.
There you go.
There we are. Leaves. Again, 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
All the same sort of age group.
I think they said the first infill to this dump I mentioned was 1956.
Right, that would make sense.
Which would make sense with the bits we're finding. Let's hope we find more. Hello.
And what do we have here? It's our ball. There we go, a green tennis ball.
Hello.
Somebody's found a ball.
Hello. Oh.
What do you want to do? You want to throw it?
His boss is up on top there.
Got it. Oh, we found another beach. Bit precarious.
Excuse me, dear. I think you're being a little optimistic when you say a beach.
Okay, so it's
I
a
think we
mud
found
bank.
a bank in with hopefully shallow water at the bottom.
I just hope it's not too deep.
But there is bits out in there, so if we can get to them, it's worth a look.
Careful, everyone. This is very slippery.
Right, let me go first in case this is sinky.
Right.
No, I think it's going to be one of those places that kicks up a dust, but you don't sink too far.
Now I know what you're all thinking. You're all thinking, I hope Phil sinks. Are you? Come on, be honest. I am. But no, it looks safe. So let's pop in. I've seen something metal here, so let's see what that is. Oh, it's just a piece of aluminium.
Oh, look away, Bernie.
Oh dear. Phil is reaching critical depths there.
Ah, we're over already.
Oh, you're going to get
like
very cold. Right, while Phil is over there, we'll have a look at what I found here. Because this looks like a piece of aluminium, doesn't it? But I think that is off a tin of meat or something. Probably again from the 50s. It had a ring pull on it and you pulled it off the top of the tin and ate what was inside. There's something possibly electronic there, do you think? Let's have a look. Part of something. Anybody recognise that circuit board?
Oh my gosh.
Let's have a look what
Other
we've got
than a
there.
wet leg. Right. That's what got me out there.
Right.
And all it is a piece of white tile, but
Right.
that's what was shining under the water.
Okay.
So that got me out. Then a couple of other bits of white that I picked up.
Right.
But
Okay.
that,
Oh, let's have a look. Oh, that's nice. I like that.
and now, before you say anything, right?
Yes.
I know it looks like the bottom of another marmalade jar.
It does.
But it's just got the single line and then
Mhm.
smooth. But the interesting bit is underneath,
Oh, yes.
because that's come from London.
Oh, that's interesting.
I appreciate that we go some places and there's pipes falling out of the sky and landing on us, and it's amazing. We come down here and we might be scavenging for a little bit of bloom white, but honestly, the sense of adventure, the not knowing, the looking, and the environment you're in is awesome. And then you find a little gem, because that is just as good as it gets when it comes to a bit of river glass.
Oh, that's lovely.
It's perfect, isn't it?
It is very nice. Nicely frosted, nicely rounded. We'll keep that. Ooh, what's that? It's metal, it's heavy. Well, I want to say that's a bit of engine. What do you reckon? It's got like an inlet there and an outlet there.
Water cooling system on a car.
Water cooling, you
Front of
think?
the water pump, possibly.
Ah, right.
Going back to the old bangers I had when we were first together, love. Remember the
I
old...
remember those old bangers, yes.
Yes. Taught Caroline to drive on a car where you couldn't actually let the accelerator stop accelerating, otherwise the engine would stop. So Caroline learned to be able to press all three pedals with 2 feet even before she passed her test. But that, I think, would have been the front cover off a water pump.
Oh, what have you found?
Well, I could see it that way and I thought, oh, it's an old pot.
Oh, look, there's somebody on
But
it.
there's a transfer on it.
Who's she?
Now, I'm wondering, does that look like perhaps someone from the 60s? See that hair doing that? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Or maybe later, 70s, I
There
don't
was
know.
some writing or something on it.
It's quite a thick chunk.
Does anybody recognise this? Please let us know in the comments.
Right, there's something in the water there. I don't know if you can see it.
Yes. What is that? Oh, it's a ceramic one of those, whatever one of those is. Oh, I tell you what that is. It's the top of an inkwell. And what have you got?
I thought it might have been a bit more of my earthenware, but on the other hand, I'm thinking possibly sewer pipe.
I think so. We find lots of bits of sewer pipe. But while we were talking, look what I seen down
Yes,
here.
it's right there between our feet.
It's got writing on it. I can't see what. Let's see if we can pick it up. As you can see, the current is quite strong. There we go. Got it out.
The battle of the diggers.
I want it. He's going away. Come back. Come back.
Stop it. You got it. You got it.
Ah, we stop that pottery. Oh, I got this.
Yay!
Here's a pot or a jar, and it says Nelson. Now, we picked up something with Nelson on up in Yorkshire.
Because there was a Nelson in Yorkshire, wasn't there?
There was, yes, but there's also Nelson a few miles from here, so I don't know if this is our Nelson or Yorkshire Nelson.
I'm going to go for ours.
You think so?
I'm going to say, what a lucky coincidence that we find a Nelson piece of earthenware up in Yorkshire, near Nelson, and now near Nelson. We're not near, we're about 10 miles south.
About. Now that looks like a bit of pipe stem. I wonder if it is. Oh, it was the edge of a piece of ceramics or plate or something. What have you found?
I have evidence that back in the 70s, Uri Geller must have been here.
Oh, yes.
There we go. Uri Geller, that man who famed himself for bending cutlery in people's drawers, I should say kitchen drawers, while simply staring out of the television screen at them. So there we are, one bent spoon. And then, as I said, what catches your eye is white. And just to show, hello there, Boots.
Another friend.
Hello.
Ooh, that's all white.
Yes, but
There's some green on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's a white dog. What do you
lots
want?
of different shapes and sizes, but that one there, right in the middle, that one, that's the pretty one. See, it's got the shape to it, and it's had a pattern at some point.
Oh yes,
that's
it's
washed
very
off.
warm. Hold you up in the sunshine. Very warm, but you can see there was a pattern there.
There we go. But,
nice lot of bits and pieces of old pottery.
and what this does is encourages me that if we move now, walk a few hundred meters upriver, perhaps we'll find larger pieces as we get nearer what I hope is the source of this stuff. So,
Right,
should we take a
find
walk?
out.
Now, just in case I've confused anyone with my little talk about the princes that once ruled in Wales as an independent nation, and there may be those out there thinking, well, Phil, they weren't the last princes of Wales, because obviously Prince Charles is the Prince of Wales. Well, I know that because I remember as a little boy at school all the celebrations and the street parties and things that happened when he had his investiture at Carnarvon Castle. But there is a difference, because the idea of the Prince of Wales, as we now call the heir to the throne in the United Kingdom, really started in order to do away with the princes of this principality. Because just 2 years after Llywelyn was killed in battles with King Edward I, then his son, King Edward II, was born in Wales and pronounced as the Prince of Wales, and his investiture took place in 1301 in Carnarvon Castle, and that's why to this day the heir to the throne becomes the Prince of Wales. We've just recently had our second Severn crossing renamed the Prince of Wales Bridge. For some, they think of the heir to the throne, but for others their minds go back over 7 centuries to the princes that once ruled this land of Wales as an independent nation, and who the rumour says the great Prince Llywelyn is buried just about 200 yards up the road. But these days, we don't know where the burial place is. That Elizabethan mansion is gone. The Victorian mansion has been turned into a hotel. And we're surrounded now by what once was a country estate, but now is full of houses, as after 400 years in the hands of one family in the 1950s, the local authority compulsorily purchased all the land around here and built housing for the growing population of Cardiff. Time moves on, folks, and we'd better move on too, because there's a lot of river to cover yet.
Here's another bit of beach, but it's got a deep bit running before you get to the shallow bit. Can we get over?
What if we go to your left, love?
Right, we follow this path
just
over,
across there.
see what we can do. Ooh, careful everyone, it's very slippy. Oh. Right, so we've got to this bit.
Right.
There's
I go
something to
first?
step on there.
Check it solid. Yeah, that's solid.
Right, do you think we can manage that? Let's give it a go.
You alright?
Ooh, it's very sinky there. Hold tight. Oh,
Hey.
get over.
Was it worth it?
Well, I don't know. Let's have a look.
Isn't that
It's a
lovely?
lovely fossil.
Lovely lump of stone, and it's
That's
got all that
gorgeous.
pattern in it. But I thought it was man-made, I gotta be honest, underneath. Look at the angle. Oh, it's a spoon day.
Oh, another spoon.
It's a spoon day. Uri Geller hasn't been at that one.
Oh no, that one's quite
Ooh.
sensible.
Pretty one.
Stainless steel. Flowery. Ooh, very posh. Oh, Phil's drowning. Anything I can do? Uh-oh. Poor old Phil.
Oh,
Are you very wet?
yes. I can't fit mag.
Oh, well, it was worth it for a bit of white mag.
Oh,
Oh, no, you really did get wet, didn't you?
I did, I went right under. I couldn't stop it.
Did you sink or did you just...
No,
Walk too
it
far.
just deceived me. I thought it was getting shallower and it was getting deeper. I'll show you how much deeper.
Oh, dear.
It was getting, and that's one welly. Oh God. Not funny.
No, it isn't.
wet.
We're not laughing at all. It's not funny. It's very serious. I can hear you giggling.
Oh gosh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dear. You must be freezing.
Jean pipe trousers.
That was really
I would
bad.
like a little bit of sympathy.
Oh, poor Phil. Poor Phil. Come on, everyone say, oh, poor Phil.
I thought it was an ancient piece of pottery.
It's a
And
bit
it's
of modern,
bit
like.
of 1960s mug. So much for thermal socks on a freezing cold day. Look at that.
Phil was only just saying to me, my feet are so much warmer in these thermal socks.
I know.
They're not warm anymore.
Oh.
I think this could cut our visit a little bit short.
No, I will bravely go on.
Right, okay then.
And I first got to bring out these socks. Little tip, always good to wear layers. Nice warm clothing. But you can't beat a long dangly scarf. And for all of those who think, oh, I wish you wouldn't wear that long dangly scarf, it keeps going too near the water. See? Doubles up as a towel.
So Phil is busy drying his feet so he can put his soaking wet socks back on and then put them into his soaking wet wellies.
But it won't be as wet as I was when I got out of that river.
And here's the culprit. This is what Phil got himself completely drenched for. A really boring bit of mug. I couldn't film me finding this because it takes all your concentration to pick something up when the current is this strong, but it's a lovely piece of river glass. We've come to this little clearing and somebody has been feeding the birds. There's a little bit of a coconut shell there on a stick. There's something there that I think used to stand up. And somebody has been putting fat balls on the trees. Oh, that's really kind for the birds. Gives them something to eat when it's really cold and awful and the ground is frozen solid. We're at the last beach of the visit and it looks like quite a big one and quite an interesting one. There's a step ladder over there. Not quite sure why that's in the river. Ah, right, now this is the same as the last place. There's a lovely shallow piece there, but we can't get to it. Oh, follow that man.
You can always trust the local children and their families to find a way to a river beach.
Right.
It's down here.
Yeah. Oh, that's looking a bit more sensible. Right, we're going in. Pop your wellies on. what do you think that is? Well, it's either a very fat, soggy pipe stem, or it's a bit of plastic pipe. We'll take that home, pop it in the bin. Oh, I like that. It's a piece of terracotta, and it's just been worn away. It looks like a Frankfurter sausage. Very cute, I like that. Don't know why, it just appeals to me. Ah. Can you spot the very subtle item in this picture? It's a dog ball. Well, I assume it's a dog ball because there are so many dogs around here. But it's ball number 2, whoops, of the day. And it's still alive. There's a nice little group of things. We've got, look at what's probably the most boring, well, the most plain, which is the rim of something huge, possibly, or a tile. And a dog toy. But the most interesting thing is there. I can just see it poking out from under this stone. Let's have a look. It's a watch. Ah, with no glass in it. I don't think it's terribly old. It's interesting. I wonder who lost that. Oh, Phil's found a brick.
Phil's found a brick. Unusual brick.
Oh, right.
Because it's not red.
Right, what colour is it? Blue? Green?
No, it's yellow.
It's yellow. Oh. Dennis Riabon. Riabo? I think it's Riabon, isn't it?
Yeah, R-U-A-B-O-N.
Yes. Oh, I found some river glass. There. Oh, it's very smooth. It's plain white, but a lovely feel to it. Quite a big curve on it. There's some green. Oh, it is quite smooth, but I still think it's not quite done as much as I'd like it to be done. That's a pretty rock. I'm having trouble showing you in the sunlight because the sun is going down. Let's have a look there. Lovely colour. I think I can see the neck of a flagon. Let's have a look. Oh no, it's getting away. I got it. Nothing written on it. I wonder if we've got other parts of that. You never know because there were so many flagons around at the time. What have you got? Ooh.
Big chunk of...
Hot base.
Now, that I thought was exciting when it was under the water.
Oh yes.
But
Look at that.
I think it's a bit plasticky, is it? Or?
No, it's oh yes, it's plastic. Doesn't it look rusty
Yeah,
there?
it did. It did.
Yeah.
I thought it was some kind of bit of enamel sign or something.
Oh.
As it is, it's for the bin.
Oh well.
This is out of the river. It's got a bit of a thread to it and a bit of a shape to the outside.
I wonder what that was.
Don't think it's letters on the outside, is it? It's just,
No.
Now, I started seeing red. See?
Yeah. Oh, it's not. It's just part of a stone. Well,
And
it
now
is red, but
oh,
it lost it.
and oh, hang on, you see it? Oh, there goes my stick. I'm not having a good day today. It's my soggy feet. That's what I reckon. That's the red stone, look.
Oh, well, I found an orange one, and now Phil's found a red one. And here we got a piece of river glass, and that one's a bit sharper. It's still not too sharp. We'll take that. There's a shopping trolley. So there you go. We found a ball, we found a shopping trolley, and we found rich pottery. One of Phil's pans has turned up to greet him. What's this on the banking? Oh, there we go. It's a wok. But if we get a bit peckish, we can fry up something in our wok. I found another one of these shapes. Now, we've seen lots of these there since we've been in the water today, and they're all the edge of white tiles. But I thought, well, let's dig this up and see if it is a white tile, because I'm not 100% convinced this is a tile. So let's have a look. Oh, it's moving. Can't get it. There we are.
Twig.
Oh, look, it is. It's a pipe stem. Now we really don't come across many pipe stems in Wales. That is a really exciting find. I know we found lots of pipes in certain areas, but to find a pipe here in Wales in the rivers is quite unusual. It's not a bad length either. It's slightly up more than an inch. Oh, I'm pleased with that.
Quite thin. I think it's possibly from near the top end of the pipe.
Yes.
So narrowed as it can
Oh
down.
no, that's a real treat.
I feel somewhat deflated now. We got a bit of pipe stem, but
Oh, we got a piece of pottery. And plain or patterned. Oh, it's a green one. That's nice. And
and I thought I had a coin.
I was going to say that looks very much like a coin.
I thought I had a coin.
It's a stone. There's something very red there, but as I get closer I can see it's a leaf. It's a very pretty leaf, but it's a leaf. A little bit of pottery there again. Oh, look at that. We don't get many pieces that are decorated. That's really pretty. Oh, it's a piece of sea glass. No, it'd be river glass, wouldn't it? Not sea glass. That's a nice piece. We'll have that. And what's that little tube thing there? With the stick. What do you think that is? It's a little lump of metal bar. I was hoping it was a little bottle, but it's not.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed our day on the Rhymney River here in Llanrymney as much as we have. We've had lots of Welsh history, lots of wonderful bits and pieces, and that gorgeous little piece of pipe stem. Folks, you will not understand how exciting it is for Caroline and myself to find a bit of pipe stem in a Welsh river. It is fantastic stuff. And of course, wet wellies. Oh man, did I get a soaking today, and the temperature of this water has got to be below zero. But it's all worth it. Hope you thought it was worth watching. If you did, come back and join us again soon for another adventure with Caroline and Phil as we go mudlarking wherever we can. Bye!